Hello, Euphorians. If this is your first time listening, then I'm very sorry to hear that. Be sure to listen to our first episode, Let's Get High. We've linked this in our Instagram bio, @so_euphoric. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. We promise you won't regret it. This week, we'll be discussing episode 2, which is honestly kinda fucking dark. We build a strong case for Nate being gay, we bet on the amount of dicks in the episode, and we meet the most terrifying drug dealer in TV history. There is so much to unravel here, so let's grab your drinks and let's get euphoric. Hey super fans, we are back and we are stoked to deliver you all the tea on episode 2. Stuntin' like my daddy, I'm here with I'm Paige, of course, and I'm here with my co-host Alex. What's up, Alex? How you feeling?
What it is, Paige? I'm feeling all right.
Well, that's good. We're still stuck in our apartment. We are very much still quarantining. New York is still on absolute shutdown. So we're going a little insane, but I've got a gin and OJ in hand, so not much has changed. But yeah, shit's crazy. It's still really crazy. Nothing's really seeming to get better, so that's great. But I did keep my job, which is good. I did not get laid off. I thought I was going to. Still working at SeatGeek. Shout out SeatGeek. Maybe you can throw us a promo if we go big. But yeah, other than that, we did receive some kind of bad news, though.
Yes. Coronavirus has officially delayed season 2 of Euphoria.
I literally am having a moment of silence because I can't.
It's so sad.
I mean, we all knew it was coming. We did. Everything's fucking shut down. Literally everything but, grocery stores. And even that, should be closed at this point, honestly, because everyone's just spreading their fucking germs. No one's wearing gloves. No one's wearing masks. Kids, wear your fucking mask, wear your gloves, and be smart. Don't fucking sneeze and rub your germs on shit. I'm so tired of seeing this shit.
Same goes for boomers, too. Boomers, please put on some fucking gloves. Stop going to the grocery store every day. Put on a mask. Jesus
change
Christ.
your life. Let's get through this coronavirus so that season 2 of Euphoria can take place. And then we all know that's the only reason we want people to be safe. That is the only reason our world needs to be safer, is so that Euphoria season 2 can start filming. They will never be able to start filming if millennials and boomers don't stay the fuck home.
If you guys out there have some parents like mine that are trying to go to the grocery store to get coffee every day, please stop them. Just lock them inside, take away their car keys, whatever it takes. Just keep them from going out,
Sit
please.
them down. Better yet.
Please.
Better yet, take them by the hand, lead them to the couch, and tell them, hey, there's this really cool podcast that I really would like you to listen to. It's explicit, but you'll enjoy.
Make them watch Euphoria. Make them listen to their podcast.
Yeah, do the Lord's work.
The Lord's work.
Well, we don't have a lot of time here, Alex, so I really think we need to dive into this episode. And
let's fucking go.
It's a dark episode.
It's a doozy.
It is a doozy. There's a lot to unpack here, so we really only picked a couple points that we felt were, I don't even know if to say important. That's not fair. Everything on Euphoria is important, but we did pick some things that we both agreed on were notes that we took during the episode that we feel are important to discuss. So that being said, how do we want to start?
Well, let's start right at the beginning. I mean, right off the bat, we get Rue on the school bus saying that when she's super high, she feels like she's psychic. Which
That's so Raven, that's the future Rue can see.
Oh my god. That's so Rue. Yep.
That is so Rue. Oh my god, we should do a meme of Rue.
Oh
my god, I'm doing it later. Okay,
if she is Raven, who is Corey in the house, though?
Corey, McKay.
Oh my god. That's racist.
McKay in the house. Okay, moving on.
Anyways,
really
so Rue says that she feels like she's really psychic. when she's stoned. And then basically, like, the way I interpreted this scene is that she then has, like, a psychic vision, which explains, like, her insight into Nate's past in the scene that comes next, where she's, like, basically, like, narrating everything that's happened to him in his life.
Okay.
So possibly, to me, I read this as kind of a bit of, like, a fantasy explanation of how she knows all these things that she's constantly narrating in the show that she wouldn't really know.
I guess that's kind of a good point because, like, Rue didn't know Nate when he was 8 years old watching his dad's porn.
Not. She doesn't know any.
Or she did, but she wasn't there.
She doesn't know any of the things that happen in this show, but she narrates them all anyways. So
and gives her insight and gives her theories on, like, why he's this way, yada yada.
Maybe this is bullshit on my part, but I read this as, like, maybe she's just having drug-induced, like, psychic visions of everybody's lives.
I mean, that would be dope. Yeah.
It's kind of silly, but it's a kind of fun way to look at it,
I'm kind of here for it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what everybody else thinks. Super fans, let us know.
Yeah. So then Rue is narrating Nate's life, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked from the get-go. So my first note on my notepad was colorful CD cases. Now, I wrote this down because it was extremely nostalgic for me to see this. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of our younger fans literally can't make any connection to this, but, like, it was so romantic when you'd make someone a mixtape in a colorful CD case. Like, Alex literally did this for me in college, and I thought it was, like, the cutest shit ever. And I feel like it's just so sad that now, like, people just send, like, links through Instagram and, like, Spotify, and it's just, like, so impersonable. You just don't have that, like, mixtape romance vibe anymore.
Yeah, making, like, a physical mixtape for someone and, like, drawing on it and selecting the songs was, like, it was a great thing. It was, like, a great way to flirt.
And I'm referring to Cal's tapes, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I'm referring to his porn drawer.
The porno drawer.
Yeah,
so, yeah, like, I don't know. Children out there, are you, like, making, like, Spotify playlists for, like, your romantic interests and, like, sending them the link? Is that a thing that kids do? I don't know.
I think so. We'll have to, like, ask around and see, but, like,
tell us if you do that.
It was just nostalgic. I just loved seeing all those colorful colored cases.
That was great.
Really
Back
great.
in the day.
Yeah. So Cal's a real fuck. Nate stumbles upon his porno drawer, and we see some really fucked up, disturbing videos of him essentially, like, fucking a bunch of minors, it looks like, mostly. But
borderline, like, barely legal, maybe children. Yep. Maybe this is statutory rape.
He has a routine. He does the same shit every time.
He sure wasn't checking Jules' ID, so I would bet that some minors slipped in there.
Absolutely. Slipped in there. They really... Or no, he slipped in them.
Yeah, he slipped in there.
Anyways, so... Oh, wait. You were going to talk about something about Cal.
Yes.
I don't... this wasn't my thing. Alex wrote this down.
So,
this is hot. This is like red alert.
Yeah, red alert, hot goss. When I watch shows, I love to, like, research the actors and what kind of, like, other weird shit they've been in. So when I was looking up the actor Eric Dane, who plays Cal...
also known in Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, also from Grey's Anatomy. There's a entire section on his Wikipedia about how... He had a sex tape where him and his wife were having a threesome with Miss Teen Oregon. Former Miss Teen Oregon. She was not a teenager at the time of the sex tape.
How old would you guess? 18?
I don't remember. She was in her early 20s.
Oh.
She was not a teenager anymore, so it was all legal and fine. But it was a big thing, and this media site Gawker posted it, and he had to sue them to get it taken down from the internet. It was a big thing, but the point is, Eric Dane brings some real life experience to this whole, like, older dude banging really young girls.
Do you think the director knows about this sex tape? Do you think it's an awkward conversation he has to have with a lot of people when getting jobs?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Eric Dane brought that to his audition and was like, look, I have, like, some real life. I mean, he's an artist. Maybe he's, like, brings his personal life to work and is like, look, I have, like, I have some real experience in this.
Maybe, yeah. One can dream. One can think. I mean, I could see it. I feel like Sam Levinson is way too intelligent to, like, look at a fucking threesome and be like, oh, that's art. Like, come on. But maybe it was opposite.
Who knows?
Anyways, so then we get, outside of this, we get Cal kind of sitting down with Nate because he obviously stumbles upon Nate watching, or he assumes Nate's been watching the porn. And he sits on his bed, gives him this, like, heart-to-heart, if you will, with his son. It's super intense. It's super fucking weird.
It's very weird.
And I was telling Alex, my note-taking from this, I feel like this was Cal's way of manipulating his son. Because I think my take on it is Cal now knows that Nate's watching his fucking pornos. So now Cal's like, I have to somehow build up Nate, make him feel strong, make him feel important, so that he thinks I'm, like, Team Nate. I'm, like, his he's my favorite son, essentially. Like, that's how I took it. Like, you're my favorite. Be like me, and we'll be this, like, powerful, like, duo. And it's, like, a way of manipulating him to not tell his family, like, that he's seen these pornos.
Yeah, it feels like it's a very, like, tactful manipulation to, like, build this, like, bond with him and be like, we're in this together.
Yeah, like, if you catch your parents doing something bad, you know they're going to be like, oh, like, here's a piece of candy, but don't tell mom that I did this. It's, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like this scene is also incredibly revealing about Cal's character because he has this really, like, fucked up paranoid worldview where he thinks people are, like, after him and are going to be like after him and Nate, where he's like, look, like the world like hates us,
the world
like,
will combat,
people are
like...
coming for you, like you have to be ready, like all this shit, like instilling this like crazy paranoia in Nate, which makes
him animalistic and makes him become this like crazy football like jock who's like screaming at parties and ripping his shirt off.
Like we'll see along the way how that impacts Nate, but it also, to me, I wonder, like, is Cal, like, what the fuck happened to Cal? Like, he just is like a white dude that lives in the suburbs, so like
he works in construction.
Who are all these people that are after him? Like, what happened in his past that he's
not like drug dealing in Compton where he has like this really good sense of like the evil awful world out there.
What happened to you, dog? Like, I wonder if he was like abused or like a victim of something.
I
like,
think so.
Who knows? But like, dog is so fucking paranoid.
As we learn from our extensive research in Law and Order SVU, I do feel that there is absolutely a case for Cal here to have some previous, you know, he could have been molested. I don't know. It's deep.
Maybe is Cal a victim? We'll find out.
Is Cal a victim?
Season 2, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we will never find out.
So then we kind of transition into Nate growing up, and we go right into the locker room scene, which is extremely infamous.
Oh God, the dongs.
It is. So as
dongs.
We know, all superfans should know this, but the first like big press release / anything that had to do with Euphoria, like the only news that came out of like the pilot and the second episode, I think they were released at the same time. So there was all this talk and leakage of there being a certain amount of dicks in the episode and how like Euphoria was so awful, like kids should not watch this. Like they weren't saying the show itself was awful, but it was very much like, parents, red alert, like do not let your kids watch this. There are like 1,000 dicks in the first episode, which is wrong. They're in the second episode, let me make that clear. There's only like one in the first. Actually, no, there's a lot.
There's
the dick pics.
Just a couple. But yeah, there was this big like media hype where it was like, oh my God, Euphoria. It was like very sensationalized. It was like, there's so many dicks in Euphoria, blah, blah, blah. Who knows?
What I just thought of too? A new thought.
What?
Is what was your take on there being like, really, because a lot of shows, there is a lot of nudity. And sometimes it does feel very unnecessary, meaning it's like, hey, let's add like some tits in this scene just because. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the dicks were not warranted? Meaning like, do you think it was a little much? Meaning like, do you have to do it this way, Sam Levinson? Like, do we have to see all these dicks? Like, or is... Meaning, do you think in his head he was like, this will get a lot of press, let's do this? Or do you think he really was artistically trying to show like a high school locker room and how fucked up and weird jocks are about showing their dicks and being okay with it?
I can't speak to his intention.
And the gayness of it all.
I doubt he was purposely like trying to be sensational. But
you know what I'm saying?
Feel like sometimes the nudity in Euphoria is like gratuitous, but not in this scene because I feel like it serves a purpose, which is like, you feel Nate's discomfort, like when he's walking through that locker room and you're seeing like all these dongs flopping everywhere and they're gross and they're just like hanging out all over the place. Like, and
what does that lead us to, icky. Alex? Which is your big idea?
Yes. So,
well, not yours, many others.
Yeah, I mean, this is not my idea, but like, I'm in the camp of believing Nate is gay. And in this episode, we
fully
start
gay,
to get
not bi, gay.
Yeah, probably gay. I think gay.
I think so too. But only because of his distancing of like guys in general, very like turned off, like in the scene of the locker room when everyone's...
So we get like tons of clues in this episode about Nate being gay. So we'll hit on those as they come up. But for me, this was like mega clue number one. He's very uncomfortable in the locker room with all the D's, and he tries super hard
and kind of mad. He's
to
like,
never like look at them.
Well, he has his towel around his waist, so he's obviously also really mad. I think he's like pissed that they're doing that because he's like, what are you doing?
He doesn't like it, and from what I've heard, it's very common for gay people to be uncomfortable in the locker room when there's a ton of dongs out. Like,
yeah. Also, ew, the guy sitting down and his balls are like squashed against like the cold metal bench. Gross. That's a horrible shot. And then we get the elephant dick in the shower. There's literally a guy standing.
Yeah, the big gray one.
If you rewatch it, there's literally a quote unquote high schooler in the shower showering, and he has this huge dick. I mean, it's a big penis, and it's gray and wrinkled. I've never seen a gray penis before. It looks gray. I would post it on Instagram, but that's really not appropriate, and it will get taken down. But like, legitimately, it's disgusting.
It's it's pretty gross. So we see a lot of dongs. To me, this is clue number one that our boy Nate is gay.
Yeah. And then we kind of like rolled into his likes and dislikes about women, which kind of unravel and lead to him dating Maddie. But he kind of talks about like, I prefer flats over heels. I prefer like a girl that's hairless. Like, he essentially puts this image out of like a white suburban girl, which is funny because Maddie's not white. She's not very suburban. But anyways.
Yeah.
He kind of does, though. And you already know my take. I really think he's kind of describing Jules. I didn't think that until I watched it this time. But I think he kind of describes a lot of attributes that Jules has, which also solidifies that he might be gay.
Yeah, I kind of disagree on it referencing Jules thing. To me, this like whole description of what he loves in women this is kind of like clue number 2 that he's gay, for me at least, because I feel like this is like this very like cultivated image of like what like a modern white suburban male should find to be like the hot ideal like housewifey woman.
So it's like fabricated. It's not what he actually likes.
It feels like he adopted this because he feels like this is what he's supposed to like.
This is what a manly jock would like.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like...
Or what his dad would like.
It doesn't feel genuine to me.
I wonder if it's what his dad would like, too.
It feels like if you were like, I just need to like come up with an idea of what I like in women, and you were in like the white suburbs, this is probably what you'd come up with.
Totally. So then it leads to, us meeting Maddie, who... I have a lot of favorites in this show, so I can't say she's my favorite, because everyone's my favorite except for Nate. But I absolutely adore Maddie. She's so fucking amazing. Like, Alexa Demi also in real life is just fucking dope. But anyways, ongoing. Maddie, the question I have for you is, I'm very confused by Nate and Maddie because he does have a very weird attachment to her. Like, I don't think it's a lie. Meaning, I think their romance is a lie, but I do think he has a very strong connection to Maddie and a feeling of like ownership. Like, losing Maddie to him like he spirals when she's not like heeding to him. So my question for you that I was going to put you on the spot, I did not talk about this with Alex before, on the spot. Was like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Or like, what do you think? Why do you think that? If you think Nate's gay and he's like obviously trying to hide that part of his life and kind of like have this fake relationship with Maddie, why does he like, when they show him shooting that guy, he's like, I picture like, she's like, if he ever, like, she got kidnapped, like, he'd fucking put a bullet through someone's head. Like, why does he have such a strong love for Maddie, even though it's not romance?
I don't know that I would even call it a love. I don't think he loves Maddie as a person. I think he is... controlling, maybe? Obsessed. I think he's incredibly controlling, and I think he's obsessed with maintaining, like, the status of having Maddie as his girlfriend. Like, he has obviously identified her as, like, the peak girlfriend to have, and I think he's obsessed with, like, maintaining that, and like he's obviously an incredibly like paranoid and possessive person, so even though I don't think he actually loves her, I think he's still like exhibiting those qualities towards her to act as like the ideal boyfriend, or like to like I think also, to put across this image that he's like the guy, the man. Like,
totally, I agree. I 100% agree. I was thinking the same thing. So yeah, I guess I kind of did think that he kind of loved her. Not like romance, but I think he kind of had a soft spot for her. But maybe that's me just like trying to pick anything about Nate that's kind of redeeming. Because Maddie is really dope. Like, she is.
The choking the shit out of her thing kind of like disqualifies that all for me.
So how about we continue this conversation though? Because it does intensify as per episode. It does. Like, their connection and their relationship intensifies.
I also think that the like he's gonna kill people for her thing is like very much... he's kind of inherited this like intense paranoia from his father. I think it's kind of like the inherited trauma thing. Like, he's like Cal's pep talk with him definitely fucked him up. He thinks there's like rapists out there ready to fucking kidnap Maddie any day.
Which is kind of like,
he has this like the same like super paranoid like fucking crazy worldview Cal does.
Totally. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of ask you that and see what you thought. But good. I'm glad we unraveled that, because that was some stuff I didn't actually think. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's definitely a thing. And I also really quickly want to say I do think it's kind of a challenging, and he probably feels really accomplished having Maddie because she's so combative. Like, it would be a lot easier if someone just did everything he said to do. But I almost think he likes the like fight. Like, he likes that she's like, fuck you, you're a dick, and then like walks away and like bangs a guy in the pool.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He likes the drama.
But he likes the, like, drama.
Yeah,
so, like, Maddie's
totally.
perfect for him. He doesn't want a girl that's just gonna, like, he'd do his every need. It's like, he kind of likes that she, like, challenges him.
At least for now.
They have a fucked up relationship, yeah. So then we go on to, we kind of both took a note that it's really bizarre that Nate has 2 brothers.
Yeah, so we get a little more info on Nate's family here. And they talk about his older brother, who seems like he's... Nate hates him, but he seems like he's probably just a nice, normal dude.
Yeah, we learn more about him in the carnival episode, and he honestly seems like a chiller. His name's Aaron.
Yeah, and we know from the picture, the family photo, that Nate also has a younger brother.
Which is bizarre. We never even hear him utter a word.
The younger brother is never named, or I don't think he's ever shown in person in the show, but we'll have to revisit that.
Maybe at the carnival?
I'm not sure.
I don't even think so.
So we'll see.
So his name is Beans.
His name's Beans, yes. So Beans, what's the deal with Beans? Is he dead? Is everyone in Nate's family so fucked up because Beans is dead?
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's actually a great conspiracy. Maybe that's why, like, the whole family is so fucked up.
He clearly made it to, like, maybe, like, age 6 or 7 based on that photo, but, like, I don't know. Do we see him after that? We'll have to, like, keep an eye out as we rewatch the show, but they never talk about him.
They never talk about him.
He never says anything.
Never.
So yeah, we also find out from the scene that Nate fucking hates his mother, which is probably not a surprise. He's got, like, this weird, fucked up, like, reverse Oedipal thing.
Yeah, what is that, Alex?
Look it up. I'm not going to explain
define
it.
what that
Look
is.
it up. But Nate
ahead.
clearly wants to...
Go ahead and quickly explain.
No, but Nate wants to kill his mother, and he wants to fuck his dad, basically. Like, he has, like, this intense, like, sexual obsession with his father, and he, like, hates and despises and maybe wants to kill his mother, which is usually reversed, but in this case...
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
The sexual obsession is fixated on his father.
It's very common in TV shows, especially, for the son to be closer to the mother. It's like a mommy's boy, but he's absolutely not. So then... The only other thing about Nate and Maddie that we kind of wanted to touch on was obviously, like, the sex. And it's really strange, and that also solidifies that Nate might be gay because he's always fucking her from behind. It looks beyond forced. It just looks, like, miserable, honestly.
Yeah, this is, like, clue number 3, I think, in this episode for me, that Nate is probably gay. He always has sex with Maddie from behind. It's never, like...
Emotional.
It's never emotional.
Nope.
It's never romantic. It's not, like, she's liking it. Like, maybe, like, Jules is into the dominant thing. Maddie's clearly, like, never enjoying their sex.
No, she's always faking it. And also, another really funny thing is a scene that we both love, which is when he asks if she's a virgin. She's wearing, like, the pink lingerie, and it's all, like, dreamlike and fantastical. I mean, it's weird, but it makes sense. He, like, has this weird fantasy of, like, taking away her virginity and, like, being, like, dominant in that way.
Yeah.
So that's funny. And he also gets her that ugly, hideous set of lingerie, which also shows.
Lingerie.
Yeah, and she goes, ew. I love that part.
God, Nate has no fucking taste. Big surprise. So yeah, he always has, like, really gnarly behind sex from her that's very impersonal, and he could easily be having sex with a dude from his point of view and imagining a dude. I don't know.
Bad relationship all around.
Yeah.
So then we go, honestly, it transitions to Rue sitting on the bus. She's wearing sunglasses. She's high as fuck. And you see her head hit the fucking bus seat, which is so funny. There's a lot of memes about it. But then we go right into the credits. And Sutton, Like My Daddy, comes through, which is such a fucking bop.
What a great song. I fucking love that song. It's very relatable for me because I was in junior year of high school when that song came out. My homie, my, like, degenerate school friend burned me a CD of the full album.
Did he put it in a color case?
No, it was in a clear case. But I remember
what was his name?
Very clearly. Kevin Kopp, shout out.
Kevin Kopp? What the fuck?
He burned me Like Father, Like Son, the Birdman and Lil Wayne album that song is from.
Kevin Kopp, if you're listening, though, why didn't you use a colorful case? Pissed.
So next, we've got the first day of school, and there's Rue looking pretty miserable, and then like a ray of sunshine, Jules appears.
So cute. Very Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm. Great outfit at this point. And this leads me to issue a retraction from last episode where I thought that they only used Jules' green eyebrows for that one scene. I was wrong. Please forgive me. She has green eyebrows on the first day of school.
They're kind of
yellow. Whatever. They're still greenish yellow dyed eyebrows. So I was wrong. But great. I love the look. It works better here than in the last episode too, I think.
Yeah, her outfit's beautiful. It's great. And it's so cute. They smile at each other. Ugh, it's a good moment. So then we kind of really quickly flash to them laying in bed together that night after the party and them tripping for the first time. And I have a fun behind-the-scenes fact.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think this was shown on like sometimes how, you know how HBO does those like after the show little things on YouTube. They did it with Game of Thrones, but they did it with Euphoria as well. They talk about how in all those scenes where Jules and Rue are laying in bed together, they're actually not laying in bed. They're standing up against a mattress that's like built into a wall, which I think is kind of weird because like that'd be really awkward to act because when you're laying in bed, it's like very cozy. And when you're like spooning someone or like cuddling like they are, it would, well, they're not like full on cuddling, but like it's an intimate scene. So the fact that they're standing and like holding blankets up to their chin, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's weird. And they just like, it looks so natural. So when you're watching it again, if you guys are rewatching the show as we do this podcast, you should definitely look because it's kind of funny to look at and picture.
Yeah, you would never know.
No, you would literally never know, which is why Euphoria is so fucking good. So then we get the amazing tripping sequence, which is like iconic because we get the glitter eyes.
I love it.
They're under a fort, which is like pretty fun. I was like, damn, maybe we should do that.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down to do some acid under some blankets.
Yeah, that'd be fun, especially during quarantine. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but it's a great scene. It captures that moment when you're doing drugs and like something really normal seems really cool. And
yeah,
then
like
they
their
kind
faces.
of like flash outside of them to show like what's really happening, and they're just kind of like staring at each other and giggling like idiots.
Yeah, it's kind of
which is very accurate.
You get I love when film does this. It's like you're in the moment with them, meaning like you can relate.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then
it's intense.
all of a sudden you feel like a third wheel watching them, and you're like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, they're just like looking at each other like, yeah.
It's like Beavis and Butthead under
it's
a
pretty
fort.
great,
yeah.
and also very accurate.
But really cute. And it's like, honestly too, I didn't think about this until now, but it's also probably weird for Jules because she doesn't know really anything about Rue in terms of like her history at this point. So to her, it's probably like,
yeah,
not a big deal. Meaning like them getting high together is like what you would do normally with people in high school. Like,
yeah, they're chilling.
Yeah, so it's not as deep as it gets later on.
Yep.
So then we have this really intense moment where Rue kind of describes her journey with drugs.
Yeah, we get a great line from Rue where she says, drugs are kind of cool. And then she's like, until they're not. Which is probably like some of the greatest realist wisdom on this whole show.
Yeah, for all you high schoolers, you better listen to Rue.
Because, like, it's true. Like, drugs are super cool, but you also have to be super, super careful because the line of, like, going too far and fucking up your entire life is, like, very thin.
Hard question for you. Hard-hitting question.
Hit me.
And I'm only asking you this because I know your history with drugs.
Hit me.
Do you think it's better for kids to wait? Well, no, I don't want you to weigh in too much because I don't want to have any persuasion over our fans. But, like, in your experience, would you have rather done drugs in college or high school?
College.
And this is not telling people what to do.
College, all the way.
I was thinking when I was watching this, I was like, I'm pretty open-minded, and I do want my kids to experience this maybe later on, but like I think high school's way too early to be doing this shit.
I didn't do drugs till college.
Because you don't know enough about yourself. You don't know if you're an addict. You don't know if like those things... I feel like when you're young, you're not quite sure of yourself, and you don't know if you have those addictive behaviors.
Yeah, and also on like a purely scientific level, your brain is developing up till the time you're about 25, and any drugs you're doing are going to affect that.
Kids, are you listening to this? Kids?
And like sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done drugs when I was 18, but like I don't have a problem with it. But
I know I kind of put you on the spot, but I was just curious because like if we ever have kids, I'm like, shit, I hope they're not doing fucking drugs when they're in high school.
All I'm gonna do is be like, don't until you're like in college, don't until you're 18. Then I don't really give a shit. But like, I mean, I love smoking weed, but smoking weed can definitely impact your brain development if you're smoking when you're like a child.
More acid
like
and
when you're in high school, like.
But also like Molly and stuff like that. I think you should wait till you're in college.
I don't know. I'm not sure how those impact your brain development, but from like a social standpoint.
Yeah, just beware. Like I said, this is not advice.
Probs wait till college.
Totally. So anyways, so then we get this really horrific scene. It's like a flash to Rue throwing up. She's OD'd. And Gia's like sobbing, her sister, which
Rue
I think
has crossed the line.
She's
gone too far. Drugs are no longer cool.
No, they are not cool, and it's really, really sad because this is our first kind of glimpse into their sisterhood and seeing how much this affects Gia. And I think Gia's actually really one of my favorite characters, even though she's so minor in this. I think she'll have a lot more in season 2, but I think she's kind of a baller, meaning like she really handles it well, and her and Rue have a really deep, like, cute relationship together as sisters. So I don't know. I kind of like that scene because you just see how much she cares for Rue, but she's not like judgmental of Rue, if that makes sense. She doesn't hold it against her.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of honorable. So Gia, shout out. Okay, so after that, we don't really go too far into the OD. It's just like a quick glimpse, and then we're here on the first day of school, which is like everyone's
back to school
worst nightmare. Even if you're popular, like the first day of school fucking sucks.
The first day of school 100% fucking sucks.
A ton of anxiety.
For me, it sure does.
I know, and you and I have very different experiences, which I think I mentioned this last time. I think you and I will do a whole separate episode based on our high school experiences and how they compare to Euphoria. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, but my high school experience was fucking awful. The first day of school was usually preceded by like a week of me like begging my parents not to send me back to school.
That's so sad.
And like fighting with them for about a week straight, and then I go back to school and I hated it. So
and mine was like I had to wear
first day back is a lot better than mine.
I was more Maddie and Cassie. I had to wear my cheer uniform the first day of school.
Oh my god.
I wasn't like a basic cheerleader. My mom forced me to fucking be on cheer. I did not want to do it, but I did gymnastics growing up, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I actually met a lot of really dope people, so it ended up being like a good thing. We'll get into that in our episode that we might do about high school.
Yeah.
But we have very different experiences, so it's really cute. We see them like all kind of like gathering together, exchanging stories from the summer, which includes the party where Maddie and Tyler fuck in the pool.
Yep. And also, for the first time, our girl, Juling Janice. She's named on screen for the first time. They say her name, BB. There she is. She's being ratchet as fuck, like usual.
Yeah, she's like we'll still call her Juling Janice because I feel like, I don't know,
sure.
We'll go back and forth, so don't get confused. But BB's her real name. BB's got a big mouth, we learn, because...
No surprise.
Essentially, every, like, rumor that goes on, it does always lead back to BB kind of weirdly. We'll learn that more later, but, like, BB has a big fucking mouth. She's funny, though, so I'm okay with it. But I like also the part when she's like, they're all kind of like exchanging stories from that night, and she's like, oh yeah, I forgot, like you guys don't remember shit because you both was fucking, and she's obviously talking about Kat and Maddie.
Yep.
So I just think all around she's ratchet and really funny.
Yeah,
I'm here for BB. I would love to get her on our podcast. That would be so funny.
Let's see if we can. Who knows?
We'll DM her.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Big dreams can happen. So then we quickly get introduced to Ethan.
Yeah, Kat's
I stan
Ethan. Ethan is way too cute for Kat. He's a gem.
Wait.
Love
Take
him.
it back. Cute physical appearance or like cute like he has a good personality?
Like all around. Like he's
because that's a little like around. Harsh to be like she's not valuable.
I don't mean physically. Like he's
Ethan.
a nerdy little guy. Like I just mean like he's too much of a sweetheart. He's a gem. I love him.
And Kat's not.
No.
Oh my god. Okay.
Cat's out fucking
Alex
like dirty
and I,
carnies and like pigmen on Skype.
Alex and I will get in multiple fights throughout this podcast about my feelings for Kat versus his. He really does not stand Kat, and I fucking hate it.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Ethan is introduced. He's a gem.
He's wearing a medieval time shirt, which, let me go into this saying, I've been to medieval times. It's a fucking shit show. If any of you don't know what this is, it's essentially, Alex really wants to go. I don't know why.
Really bad.
I don't know why. But it's in Anaheim, California, and like this really
There's
janky
a bunch
part.
of them. They're all over.
Well, when I went, I was in 8th grade, and there was literally only one in Anaheim. Like, people travel from all over the world to go to this fucking medieval times. It was so stupid. We went on a school field trip. You essentially, like, sit in this little mini arena, and you get fed, like, a quote-unquote medieval dinner. Okay, no. It's, like, a moldy old, like, turkey leg and some gross, like, cream of corn and, like, some beans.
It's a feast page, okay? It's a medieval feast.
Whatever. It's, like, beans and mush, and you get to eat it and watch these fake actors joust on horses, and it's literally
they have
embarrassing.
Jousting. It's like knights. Like knights fight, and there's jousting, and there's like a fake dragon or some shit.
Well, I was on a field trip. We drove 6 hours to do this, so imagine my disappointment when I'm thinking this is going to be really great, and I drive 6 hours to eat mush and a moldy turkey leg to watch two people on horses yell at each other and speak in horrible accents. So,
and joust, and then they joust. They hit each other with big poles on horseback.
Fell asleep.
That's great.
So I drooled on my sweater. My friends have a photo of me. I should probably try and find it. It'd be really hard to find, but like I literally drooled all over my sweater. It was so boring. I fell asleep, and we went to Disneyland the next day, so I was redeemed. But it was a horrible experience, and Alex really wants to go. So I'm thinking, I have this great, trip planned to Turks and Caicos for his birthday, but I'm thinking big 30, medieval times.
Nah, fuck it. I want to get really stoned, go to medieval times, eat that turkey leg, and watch that jousting. Bring it on.
So anyways, then we meet Ethan. He's cute. Whatever. We'll move on. We move on to Rue in drama, I'm assuming. Drama class.
Yep.
She's on stage. She gets called up by her fucking dumbass teacher.
Fuck this teacher, though. For real. What a piece of shit. Rue is so clearly, like, traumatized, uncomfortable, doesn't want to do this. Anxiety attack, like, and
also,
the teacher's
we
still
know the
pushing
teacher knows
her.
about her OD. The whole fucking school knows about it. So,
even
like,
if she doesn't, she's being a real fuck.
Yeah, it's stupid. So she puts Rue on stage, and she's clearly struggle bus. Like,
yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
But
the lights go out. We've got the single spotlight on Rue. And this is one of those moments where, for me, this is kind of one of the more, like, fantasy moments of the show.
Yeah,
like,
Shakespearean.
I doubt it was, like, pitch black and there was one single spotlight on Rue, actually, but it's very impressionistic about what it feels like to be on stage, like, under the spotlight, getting grilled by a teacher in front of a crowd. Like, the stress is real.
Her eyes literally twitching. Zendaya executes this scene.
Feeling rough, like.
Yeah, Queen Zendaya executes this scene just, like, flawlessly. Like,
yeah, she's great.
You feel the anxiety, you feel the stress. It's like when you're giving a public speech and you feel like you're about to throw up. Like, it's so sad. I almost cry every time when I watch it.
It's an
I'm not lying, because
scene.
I think if that was my kid, you know, and I'd be like, I would hope that fucking teacher would be like, oh, honey, like, you don't look like, you know, or I would just be like, oh, honey, it's okay, like, sit down, take a break, take a breather, get a glass of water. But no. So Miss Motherfucker is a shithead and makes Zendaya stay up on stage. We hate it.
Yep.
So she obviously tells a little bit about her story. She's pressured so harshly by Miss Motherfucker.
Get she doesn't say anything, but we get the flashback.
No, she says, I remember me and my sister were listening to a song.
Oh, yeah.
And then the song we actually both love.
Yeah, there's a really good Fly Me to the Moon cover by soul legend Bobby Womack.
Yeah, who's Bobby Womack? I don't know anything about him.
He's just a great old school soul singer. He did, like, Across 110th Street. He was on the Gorillaz album. He died a couple years back. But he was he was a great singer. And that's just a great cover of Fly Me to the Moon. It's probably my second favorite cover after the one and the end credits of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Ooh, anime.
Yeah, Jules is a huge anime fan. If you are also an anime fan and watch Neon Genesis, like, you know what I'm talking about. It's a great cover.
Okay, well then on our Instagram music post, we'll plug both. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But anyways, we go into this scene. The only other thing I kind of want to talk about in this scene was just, like, how close you get to see the family. Like, you notice that her mom clearly has so much love for Rue. Like, she really is a baller mom for all that she's had to go through. And Gia. So, like, the three of them have a really fun relationship. Like, they're dancing in the car. It's just, like, it's kind of cute. You get to see a more happy time with them. Mm-hmm. But then I had another fun behind-the-scenes fact. I don't remember where I found this out, but it was directly from the words of Sam Levinson. So he said that he was super impressed with the actress who plays the mom and then Zendaya. They were asked to essentially improv a fight. And the fight, like, was intense, and they got it on the first take and didn't have to do it again. And she, like, literally, Zendaya, like, knocks a fucking, like, frame off the wall and, like, pulls up, like, a glass shard and, like, shakes it at the actors. And the mom who plays, I need to get her name for next time around, but, like, she's baller because she said that in the improv, she, like, had no idea she was going to do that. So she was like, oh, fuck. So her reaction's, like, very, very real. She was like, oh, shit. Like, there's a fucking glass shard, like, aimed at my neck by Zendaya, who's, like, heated and, like, almost crying. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun.
And they only shot that once, right?
Only once. And I love hearing shit like that because that's when you know, like, this cast is just, like, fucking phenomenal. Cause, like,
yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's an amazing scene. It's, like, so intense.
Yeah, and then also during the flashbacks, I think it's noteworthy that Rue has two great outfits in the flashbacks.
Oh, yeah,
like, she's got
these.
When she's doing drugs, she's got on, like, this glittery, super, like, glam green top that works super well. And then in the fight scene with the mom, she's got on, like, a yellow sweatsuit, like a matching hoodie and sweats that also looks great. So I feel like Rue gets a lot of, like, flack for having bad style. But my theory is that Rue only has bad style at school because she doesn't give a fuck. And outside of school, so far at least, it seems like she's dressing pretty fly. So shout out Rue. Her style's better than people give her credit for.
I agree.
She just doesn't give a fuck about school, which I can identify with.
I can't, but, like, glad that you can identify with that. I'm I love that for you. So after Rue's style, we both decided to just kind of talk about Lexi here. I mean, Lexi is a great character. She's definitely not neglected, but I do think I'm hoping she gets her own name, title, and episode in season 2. I'm not sure if she will, but, like, I would kind of love that for her. Rooting for you, Lexi. Maud Apatow. How do you say her last name?
Apatow.
Apatow?
Mm-hmm.
Love her. She's such an angel. But anyways, in this scene, she, first of all, is a badass. She turns to those motherfuckers in her class who are like essentially talking shit on Rue, and she's like at her worst place on the stage. And she goes, well, that was rude. And they both like shut the fuck up, so it's great.
Yeah,
and then
she's a
she chases Rue to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. She's a good friend.
Great friend. Stands up for her.
Sadly, Rue has to waste some drugs because she gets freaked out. R.I.P.
Yeah,
to the drugs.
blue drug. Some kind of blue drug. She crushes it up with
a crushed up pill. Some pharmaceutical.
Which is weird. We talked about this. Like, why does she do that? Like, why does she flush it all down the toilet? Like,
she's just paranoid.
She should have, when someone knocks on your stall, you just go, who is it? And if it's a teacher, then fuck yeah, like, flush that shit.
Yeah,
but,
or like swipe it back in the bag and throw it in your shoe or something.
Who knows? She was just paranoid and anxious.
Yeah.
So she does that, and then we just love Lexi, and you liked her outfit in this.
Yeah, Lexi in this scene has a great sweater. It's like a knit sweater with a hot air balloon on it, which is like very funny and kind of silly,
lips.
But I love it. Like,
do you remember she has the red? Mm-hmm. She has like bold.
It totally
red
works
lipstick.
for her. It's like a fun, like kind of like vintagey, thrifty looking sweater. I'm into it.
Yeah,
it's
and
good.
the only other thing I have to say that's very meaningful is I think Lexi is a true friend. You know, she just goes through it all with Rue, and I think it's important that she, like, I kind of like that she called Rue out on her bullshit. She was like, yo, like, fucking show up my house asking for piss, and I do it, and then now you're like, you're not my fucking best friend, back off. It's like, wow, fuck you. Like,
yeah, Rue's rough to Lexi. Rue's very manipulative towards her. She treats her kind of like shit. She uses her. Yeah, she totally uses her.
And you know what? I didn't think about this till now, but I don't really think she ever redeems herself with that.
No, I don't think so either.
She never apologizes to her, right?
No, I don't think so.
We'll talk about it more later on.
We'll see as we go, but yeah.
But the only other thing I want to end on the whole Lexi thing is I do think she's a very strong character. I don't think that she's someone that we're just like done learning about. I think it'll evolve, and there's a lot of fan theories that she might like Rue more than a friend. And I don't think we need to delve into it now, but I think it just plant the seed. Mm-hmm. We'll water it as we go through episode per episode, but I do think Lexi might have a crush on Rue.
Oh, I'm skeptical of that.
I mean, like I said, we'll continue in the next couple episodes.
We'll see.
So then we get this really beautiful scene of Rue riding her bike to, I don't know, what, Drug Anonymous? Like what do you even call it?
Like
rehab?
A drug rehab program. It's not rehab, I guess. It's a drug abuse program.
But she's riding her bike, and I think it's very iconic. There's always this neon cross in the distance. It's like a light blue neon cross. It really reminds me of Justice, the DJ, which maybe we'll also add that to our playlist just for fun.
Yeah, why not? Throw some Justice on there.
The millennials need to know about Justice if they don't already.
The millennials know about Justice.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, Alex.
Gen Z might not.
Yeah, totally. But it's just like a really cool visual. I think it's like really, I don't know. I just really like it. But we get her going to this.
It's also very reminiscent of the 1990s Romeo and Juliet with Leo.
Oh, you're right.
A lot of neon crosses in there.
So then she gets there. And then she meets, well, she doesn't meet, but she hears Ali speak for the first time.
Yeah, we're introduced to Ali, who later becomes like her homie and I think her sponsor. Not much to say here at this point, although there is a very like prevalent theory that Ali is a ghost.
Yeah, a lot of super fans, right?
I don't know that I buy this theory, but do you buy it? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Like, is Ali a ghost? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll put it in our Insta story. And I think as we go through episodes, you might think differently, but I'm with you.
We'll keep it in mind as we keep watching. But for now, I'm a no.
I don't think he is. I think he's pretty real.
Yeah.
So then we have this really kind of like, I want to call it sweet, but I actually think it's kind of depressing as well. But it's essentially really the first time Rue's introduced to drugs, which is, she's like, I think she said she's 13. I'm not specific on that, but I'm pretty positive she said she's 13 years old. She's there with her dad, who clearly has cancer and is on his deathbed, his last days, and he has to take all these prescription drugs. I mean, she literally has to, like, damp his lips with a washcloth and, like, apply chapstick. Like, he essentially is a vegetable at this point. He can't do a lot. Awful, awful, awful. She opens this drawer of prescription drugs. You can tell there's a lot of curiosity there. So I just found this, like, pretty telling of Rue's story, because you almost feel even more bad for her at this point, because it's not like she was some idiot kid that went to a party and was like, like, I'm gonna pop Molly, I wonder what this is like, and then is addicted. She's obviously, like, very troubled, very sad. She's having to deal with something, like, so traumatic at such a young age, and she finds, she sees her dad on drugs, and he looks kind of loopy, and, like, he's kind of having fun. So I think it's definitely, like, I can't say I wouldn't do that. What do you think? Like,
Yeah, it's a curiosity thing for her. Plus, she's like in a bad place in life, so it's no surprise that she ends up a drug addict.
yeah, I just think it's really sweet because they have this like tender moment where they're watching a black and white film and they're both like clearly very high and they're like giggling at it and she's like, oh, this is like the best night ever, isn't it? And her dad's like, yeah, this is like a really good night. It's like really bittersweet. So like her first time with drugs isn't bad, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's actually kind of like, it makes sense that she's addicted. It's like, it's a really good time. Like she probably has the best night she's had with her dad
it's
in
complicated.
a long time.
Yeah, it's a complicated relationship with drugs.
Yeah, like wouldn't you? I mean, if my dad was fucking dying of cancer in bed, like I'd be getting high with him every night. Like I just feel like that'd be the only way you could get through it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to sit there and be sober, talk about it.
It's a bad time, but yeah, no surprise that she is doesn't have the greatest relationship with drugs based on her first time being with her dying dad.
Totally. So then we explode into the sex tape with Kat.
We explode into the sex tape.
Also, like, thoughts on the sex tape. It's pretty funny. It's all, like, red-toned. You can barely see, really realistically, you can't see a lot other than the back of her head, but everybody knows it's her. Like, it's very obvious it's Kat.
Yeah.
There's no secret there.
And, like, this is why you don't fuck McLovin, a.k.a. The scrawny white guy
with the stash.
With the little, like, peach fuzz mustache and his shirt off, whose actual name is Wes, apparently.
He's sitting in that love sack in the party.
But he's basically, like, McLovin, but, like, even worse and grosser.
Yeah, he's disgusting. So it's like not a proud moment for her. It's obviously humiliating in the first place to have a sex tape released of you, but
it's humiliating to fuck McLovin in the first place, and then to have a tape of it is real bad.
It's real bad. So she's in fucking crisis mode. It is like all hands on deck. We need to resolve this now.
Yeah.
So she goes to tie her shoe and is like, pss, 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 pss.
Yeah, she does the least like unsubtle whisper to either Roy or Troy. We're not sure which one, although we usually refer to them as Tio and Tamaro.
Yes, based on the sister.
Yeah,
Tia and Tamara.
Tia and Tamara. So
also,
we're not sure which one
fact.
this is. But
I just thought of this. Fun fact. Tia and Tamara went to our college.
They did. True.
Pepperdine, shout out.
Pepperdine.
Go Waves.
I saw one of them speak at Convo one time.
You
not
did
sure
not?
Which one. Oh yeah, freshman year.
Really quick, for any of our listeners
yet.
that don't know, Convo's this weird like church service that you have to go to. It's so fucking stupid. Alex
really
and I are not
stupid.
Christian, so sorry if you are. Like, you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast if you are. It's really explicit. But we went to an all-Christian school called Pepperdine. Look it up. It's in Malibu. Zoe 101 was filmed there. It's really quite iconic. We loved it, but
iconic.
But we did have to go to this like weird church service called Convo, and we always fell asleep during it.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And apparently Alex is just now telling me that he met Tia and Tamara there.
I didn't meet them. I saw one of them speak, but yeah.
Did you wink at them or like say what up or?
I did not.
Wow.
No.
Really missing out, Alex.
was not particularly excited about that.
Alex.
Sorry guys.
So anyways, we get Tio and Tamara and she's like, pss, 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 like, hey, we need to fucking talk. She's pissed because she knows they're the ones that spread the rumor.
Yeah, or they're at least involved. And whichever
No, they are.
one...
They're the only ones from her school that were in that room. The rest were private school kids, so they're the only ones that could have spread it to her school.
Okay.
So they are the ones.
Yeah, and then whichever one it is, it seems like they're like kind of decent about trying to fix things.
They
like,
are. They're not that
trying to fix
argumentative.
the rumor. They're down to like take stuff down. They're buying her makeup or whatever. Which is kind of a bummer because whichever one it is, seems like they're kind of cool. Like, not cool, but like they seem like they're a decent person this episode. But then they both end up being huge fucks later in the show.
Totally.
So
it's also funny because remember when we don't know if it's Roy or Troy, whichever one it is. If one of you can figure it out, like, fuck, let me know. That'd be kind of a cool thing. But like one of them, when she's like talking to them, she's like, this could be labeled as child pornography and you could go to jail. And he's like, Kat, like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, children can't make child pornography. And she's literally like, you are so fucking stupid. Yes, this is a real thing. Like, you're an idiot. I don't know why. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, also
because he's so sincere. He's literally that big of an idiot that he's like, nah, like, children can't make child pornography, Kat. Like, he's very matter of fact about that.
Which, of course, you can still get in a shit ton of trouble for, like, making and distributing child pornography, even if you're a minor.
And circulating a sex tape of a minor. Yeah. Absolutely.
Also, I never really thought about this, but Pornhub would really be on the hook for this because they're hosting, like, a minor's, like, sex tape, which is child porn.
But it's not like, Pornhub. It's, like, Pornhumper because it's a fake site.
I think it's Pornhub. I think they use actual Pornhub in the show. I'm pretty sure they do.
You think it's cross-marketing?
I don't know, but I'm pretty
sure
they use...
They'd have to pay a lot for Pornhub to be on there.
I think they use actual Pornhub. I'll bet money.
We'll check on it. We'll let you know.
Yep.
So anyways, moving on from that, though, she gets called in, which You know what else is funny that I wasn't planning on saying, but I will say real quick, is that Jules texts her during the scene and is like, hey, yo, is that you in that sex tape? And she flat out is like, nah, dude, like, it ain't me. Like, I don't fuck private school. Like, she calls him something like private school tards or like something really stupid.
Oh my god, yeah, good one, Kat.
And, oh no, bro tards. She says bro tards,
well,
I think.
you did fuck a bro tard.
And it's like, no, you did though.
Yeah.
And he's McLovin, which is even worse. He's not even like a hot bro tard.
Nah.
He's like an idiot bro tard.
Yeah, it's bad.
So then Principal Hayes gets over the mic and it's like, Kat, bleep, 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 come to the office.
And Principal Hayes just completely, like,
botches this.
Fumbles the, like, handling of this. He's a total goon. He just completely botches it in every way possible.
He's just unprofessional. It's like, yo, like, as an adult, you don't fucking talk to a minor about a sex tape that's outside of, like, school premises. Like, that's on Instagram or wherever it was posted. Like,
or even if
Pornhub,
something needed to be said about it, he does it in the worst way possible. So he just totally, like, botches it.
So, no justice for Principal Hayes. He's a complete
he's an
fucking idiot. We hate him.
Yep.
But then you wanted to really quickly, like, laugh about how she, like...
Kat responds by claiming that all of this has been body terrorism, which is completely ludicrous. And Principal Hayes is such an idiot that he is just, like, floored by this and, like, completely taken aback and just, like, gives in.
But like, I will say, my end note on that is I agree with you. I absolutely agree. I think it's so fucking stupid. It's, like, a little over the top to call it body terrorism. That's a really, like... That's a very strong word. Like, terrorism, I'm sorry. I attribute that with, like, 9/11. Like, I don't attribute that
it's
with,
a ludicrous phrase.
I'm not attributing terrorism with body positivity. Like, no.
No.
So, the only thing I will say, though, is to sum this up, I think Kat handles it excellently, though. If that's even a word. Is excellently a word?
Yeah.
It is? Okay,
yeah.
It sounded weird. So I think she handles it the best way she can. And honestly, at that age, I can say I would have just cried in my room, felt horrible about myself, like been so self-conscious. I would have like literally stayed home pretending I was sick. Kat goes in like guns blazing, like attacks Roy and Troy or whoever the fuck that is. Attacks Principal Hayes, shuts him down. She says like terrorism and shit, which is weird.
Yeah,
but like,
she does
shuts
like
it down.
decent damage control.
And
she owns the principal, and she gets everyone to say that like she gets Roy or Troy to like squash the rumor or try to. And obviously none of this is gonna work, but she's going about it in probably the best way she can. So
yes, and let's all remember, lest us all remember, she gets a full new set of Sephora makeup, which is a huge win.
It was all worth it for the makeup.
It absolutely was. Any girl would agree.
Yeah.
So then after this, we kind of wanted to talk about the Orange Grove scene, which is so cute.
Yes, very cute.
Rue and Jules riding their bikes through the beautiful whatever Orange Grove. I don't know. They're doing the thing. Oh, Jules has cool pants in the scene.
Yeah, Jules looks great.
Cool.
It's a super cute scene. Jules is talking about like going having family dinner with her dad, which is cute, and then Rue's talking about her mom, and Jules is kind of like, "Oh, you're talking to your mom about me?" And they have like kind of a cute like flirty moment where they're talking about like telling their parents about each other and stuff, which is kind of like an early hint at them having a little bit of a thing going on.
It's also cute. Between Hunter and Zendaya acting this. It's also incredible what good chemistry they like. It is very believable that they're like kind of like flirting, which I think is
they for sure have chemistry.
They do I just will always say this though, I really think they like kill it in the chemistry zone because I think this relationship could be really awkward in any other show and we've seen it.
No, I feel it.
We've seen the stupid shows that try and make like gay relationships play out a certain way and they really just like nail it. It feels so normal. They don't, like, overplay the fact that they both come from different backgrounds, have different sexualities, whatever they may be. I just like that it's very organic.
Agreed. They have, like, some very real chemistry, and I feel it. And then Jules is just like, yeah, I'm probably just going home to watch some Madoka Magica, which apparently is an anime where a girl is offered a wish in exchange for a commitment to battling witches, a group of magical beings whose souls have been tainted by darkness. I've never watched this.
Well, it's add to the list.
If you guys have, is it worth the watch? It's got good reviews. I don't know.
Quarantine and chill. Let's watch it.
Looks like it's about a bunch of like teen witches. I don't know.
Maybe next episode 3, maybe we'll give a little blip about what we think. Maybe we'll watch an episode.
Yeah, are you guys watching Madoka Magica? Is it worth it? I don't know.
We won't go into it, but like maybe we'll say like yay or nay.
Yeah.
So then after this, we chose not to talk about this too much because like honestly I don't care. I hate Nate this much. This scene is important, though. Like, he essentially beats Tyler to a fucking pulp for fucking Maddie in the pool.
Yeah, Nate's been stalking Tyler the whole episode. He breaks into his house. He beats the shit out of him. Tyler, poor Tyler, he's so stupid. He has so many chances to escape or play this differently. But he doesn't. He just gets wrecked by Tyler, or by Nate.
But not only
but also, like, poor Tyler.
Not only
He
does he get
wasn't ready
wrecked,
for
though.
this.
No, but you and I agreed. Like, there were multiple times he could have fucking escaped.
Oh, yeah. He was an idiot. He had so many chances.
He answered too many questions. When it was like, well, do you know what you did? It's like, at that point, get the fuck out of the apartment.
If you walk into your house and some guy is there, you should just run immediately into your bedroom and lock the door, or run right back out of your house. Like, whatever. Like,
exactly.
Call 911. Get the fuck out of there.
So then the only other thing I will say about that is I do think it's not only like really sad, but in that I do also have to redeem myself, because I think last episode I said that maybe I didn't. I think I did, though. I think I said that I didn't think they fucked, Maddie and Tyler. But we now totally absolutely know they did, because Tyler pretty much admits yes, but he's like, dude, she like literally asked me to. Like, this wasn't even like flirtatious. She literally told me to fuck her in the pool.
Yeah.
So moving on, that's really depressing.
We also in the scene get another we get another clue number 4 or 5, that Nate is gay, which is that he calls Tyler the F word, a fag.
You're right.
Which is again like pretty common for closeted, like especially super closeted, like hyper masculine dudes to be like ultra homophobic. Mm-hmm. So like no surprise here, but this is probably like big hint.
Good point. Nate is gay.
Yep.
So then
Confirmed.
we have McKay and Cassie.
Yes. So, God, McKay is so fucking whack.
He really is. And there really isn't much to delve into on this because it's so surface level, but it's quite sad that here they are in this long distance relationship. I've actually been in this boat. I've been in college and have had a boyfriend in high school. So it's like when you see each other for the first time, like, trust me, you're not trying to like fucking talk about shit. Like, you're either banging or you're doing something sexual, but like there's a lot of like tension. You're young. You're stupid. You're not, like, there to, like, shoot the shit and, like, talk about your day at school. It's, like, boring. And here's McKay talking about football and his day at school.
Not even just, like, talking about football. He's just, A, like, bragging about his stats, and then B, like, complaining about his coach. Like, he's just being a little whiny bitch. And then Cassie, who is way too fucking cool for McKay, is like, do you want to kill your coach? Like, let's kill him. Like, which is super cool. And to which McKay should immediately be like, yeah, let's kill him. Like, and then let's bone on this couch. And instead, he's just like, I'm trying to have a real ass conversation with you.
Yeah, and he
like,
shuts her down really, like, it's really bad. Like, here's the thing, like, we learn later about Cassie's background and why she's like this, but, like, also, what is she like? I mean, I think that's pretty normal. Meaning, like I said, you haven't seen your boyfriend in a while. You're long distance. So, yeah, she wants to, like, have sex or be cute or, like, straddle him and, like, be, like, sexy.
She's
like,
being cool.
Nothing wrong with that. Like, she's owning her womanhood and, like, being hot. Like, who cares?
He's such a bitch. And then, like, also
He's Stan Cassie 100%.
This, like, real-ass conversation he wants to be having is not a real-ass conversation. It's just a one-sided situation where he's just complaining. Like,
about football stats.
This is not a conversation. This is just you wanting to fucking complain and wanting Cassie to just sit there and listen to your football, like, bullshit.
Well, it's also, like, Cassie could sit here and unload her background about her drug addict dad and all her life and be like, poor me, poor me. And instead, she's sitting there trying to be hot and you're talking about your football stats? Get a fucking life, McKay.
Not a real-ass conversation. McKay's fucking whack.
He's whack. So, moving on to our kind of like what ends the episode is really us introduced to Mouse, who's the fucking scary ass drug dealer.
Rue forces her way into Fezco's house. He's all nervous because Mouse is coming over, and holy shit, Mouse is one of the scariest drug dealers I have ever seen in anything ever.
Which is kind of crazy. I didn't personally think this, but Alex I trust more because he's seen a lot more like he's seen more TV shows and films with drug dealers than I have, so I trust you because you would not say that if you didn't mean it.
He's fucking scary. He's scary because he's that type that's scary where he'll do that type of shit. Like, he does that type of, like, fucked up, unpredictable shit. Like, I'm gonna make you get high, and then I'm gonna make you give me money for getting high, and if you don't have money, like, you're gonna have to fuck me. Like, that's that type of, like...
and they have guns and shit.
That's, like, some scary... Good. That's some scary
but
shit.
We see Ashtray, and Alex was, like, laughing because he's like, whoa, he has this weird face tat that says AI. What does that mean?
Yeah, you can see in this episode, Ashtray's face tat says AI. I'm curious if we'll ever know what that means.
I joked, like, it's obviously not artificial intelligence. Maybe
it could be. I don't know. Maybe Ashtray loves AI.
Or it's Ashtray Ivan. Ivan's his last name.
Ashtray Ivan. Yes, definitely that.
No, I'm just making something up.
What do y'all think it stands for?
I don't know. Who knows? But then my question for you was, obviously he makes Rue take fentanyl, which when I watch this, I don't even really know what that is. So Can you, if you don't mind, giving me a quick blip of, like, what the fuck is fentanyl, and should she have survived this, taking that amount?
I mean, yeah, she takes a super small amount, like basically like a drop.
But isn't that a shit ton?
It makes sense that she survives, but fentanyl is super fucking scary. Like, fentanyl is an opioid derivative, and it's about 100 times stronger than morphine, which is what they give you in the hospital when you, like, have your arm blown off or something. Like, the worst pain you could be in, they give you morphine. So this is 100 times stronger than the shit they give you.
So it's not like a fun drug. Like, why do people do it?
No,
then?
It's not a fun drug. And most OD, like a large portion of ODs are when people think they're doing heroin, and really it's like either laced with fentanyl or it is fentanyl.
Damn.
And then they just die because your body literally just can't handle how fucked up and strong
so
that shit is.
So she's really lucky she has supportive people around her that help her through it.
Yeah, it's scary shit. And
Fez grabs another drug.
Fez is a super smart dude. He knows not to fuck with fentanyl. He knows that's bad because people, like he says, like, people are going to die. And he doesn't need the heat of, like, people dying and the cops, like, looking into why people are dying. So he doesn't fuck with it. He's also a super smart dude because he keeps Narcan around. Because he tells Ashtray to go grab the Narcan. It's like it's a drug that you can give someone when they're ODing to, like, basically bring them back from the brink of death. Like, if you are about to die of an overdose, you can give someone Narcan and it saves their life.
Got it. So then after that, you know, honestly, everyone's just in a fucking bad place at the end of the episode. We've got, let me just list it out for you. We've got, you know, Maddie. She's going back to Nate and being a real dipshit. I mean, who wants to date Nate? He's a fuck. Nate's always in a dark place because it's just Nate. Jules gets her first text from Shy Guy 118, which is Nate. We all know that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, she's not there yet, but she's going down a dark path.
Yep.
Rue fucking, you know, we see her OD and we see her still doing drugs and she does fentanyl. It's like, she's going down a dark
causing
path.
Fezco trouble, which is
love
sad.
Her,
Don't fuck with Fezco.
Yeah, like, she's causing trouble. And then Fez goes on a dark path because
Fezco's is in the whole $600 now because he's looking out for Rue and being a good dude.
Yeah.
So
him and Ashtray are in a hole because, like, their business is behind now. So
yeah, he just had to fork over $600.
He should keep that receipt. Like, keep that receipt and give it back to Rue and I owe you.
Yeah.
Like, important.
Totally.
Then we see Cassie and McKay are definitely in a dark place because it's like, yo, like, I mean, I think Cassie is, like, a baller, but also, like, she's sad because, like, she's gonna fight with McKay now because she was just being normal and he's a dick.
And then McKay's being he's being super whack at the end when he's like, wants nudes and he's like, please, I'm so horny.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, dude. You're a real dick. What a horrible way to end an argument.
Please, I'm so horny.
How about you say I'm sorry and you're a great girlfriend, not send me nudes. And then Lexi's in a dark place because she's sad. Like, Rue fucked her over and was real rude. Rue was rude.
Yeah, true.
Rue, you rude. Then we got...
Kat's sex tape is out.
Kat's sex tape's out. That. She's dealing with... She's in crisis control.
Yeah.
You know who is thriving, though? BB.
BB.
BB's doing just fine.
BB's living her best life.
BB's
She's got
drooling.
lots of hot gossip to spread.
She's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, like, honestly, just, like, I will end on that note saying everyone is in a really deep, dark place. Okay, well, it would be really horrible of us to not end the episode with our traditional note of superlatives.
Bum, bum, bum. It's that time.
So, best dressed. We're doing, like, a quick fire round, so best dressed. Maddie.
For me, also Maddie. In this episode, for me, it's like she first day of school. She's got the light blue, like blue look on, the sky blue, and then she's got the red eyeshadow, which super works. And then later she's got the bowling outfit, which I think also super works for her when they go bowling. But also the light blue outfit plays into kind of the larger color scheme of this episode, which we kind of talked about outside of this, where the lighting is almost all like this really awful, like putrid yellow, and almost all the outfits are like the light sky blue. Like Jules has the sky blue, Cassie's got the sky blue, Maddie's got the sky blue. So it's kind of like a overarching color scheme for the episode.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Maddie all the way for best.
I love Maddie. I don't even have a specific outfit. I love every outfit she wears in the entire show. So.
I will say, super quick shout out, Kat. I don't usually like her style, but in this episode, she's wearing a shirt from one of my favorite artists, Picture Plane. It's a degenerate shirt that he made through his clothing line called Alien Body. Check it out.
Okay, we'll post it on our Instagrams. We always post our superlatives.
Plug for my boy.
So worst dress for me, obviously Ethan with the fucking dumbass medieval time shirt. Like, you could get that at Goodwill.
I love it. But for me, it's gonna be Nate in this one for those fucking khakis he's wearing after he beats up Tyler. Like, God, what a doofus.
Wearing khakis to the bowling alley.
Woof.
So then what's the next category?
Bae of the episode.
Bae of the episode.
For me, it's Jules. She's a great friend to Rue all the way through. She's super cute. Love it.
And then mine's Kat. I pick Kat because she's a baller. She deals with one of the most horrendous things a woman can deal with, which is a sex tape being released in high school. And she takes full control. I'm here for Kat.
All right, then we're on to the old big purple dirty rat bastard, which for me...
1, 2, 3?
Nate. Obviously. Yep. We don't need to even say why.
Nope, he's a fuck.
Class clown. For me this week, it's going to be our boys Tio and Tamaro, a.k.a. Roy and Troy. Don't know which one it is, but whoever it is pretty funny.
For me, I mean, I do think I agree with that, but I also think BB. I don't know why. I just love her.
All right. Best couple.
Best couple. Rules.
It's got to be Rules for me this week. They're super cute.
They're just
chemistry.
Starting.
Yeah.
They're just starting, but that's like the best part of a relationship. So they're like budding into a beautiful relationship.
Mm-hmm. And then we're on to the song of the week. For me this week, it's obviously Stuntin' Like My Daddy. It's a great song. It holds up. We still party to it all the time.
In our kitchen, we do.
Yeah.
And that's by Lil Wayne.
And
Little
Birdman.
Wayne.
Small Wayne and Birdman.
That's a great, that's just a classic. It's a real fucking bop.
Yeah.
For me, it's what's it called? Oh, Mount Everest by Labyrinth. Sorry, I had a little like brain fart there. But yeah, it's Mount Everest by Labyrinth. Alex hates it. I don't really care. I love it. I think I like it because it should be called Euphoria. It was a song he already had and he just added it to the Euphoria soundtrack. But I think it whenever I think of Euphoria, I can't listen to it and not think about Euphoria. And I think that's very telling of a track. Like, it's so fucking good. I love it. No, I love it. I don't even want to hear your criticism.
I'm not going to say anything, but there was a little news moment for your boy Labyrinth. He showed up this past week when the celebrities put out that super cringy Imagine video where they were all taking turns singing verses from Imagine by John Lennon. And
well, it was for coronavirus. They were trying to be like, let's stay positive, and it was just a really not
incredibly
a good idea.
tone deaf and cringy. And Labyrinth took part in that.
Labyrinth took part. But to be fair, this is what I will say on that really quickly.
Oof.
If you are texted by Gal Gadot, who's a huge celebrity, if you don't know, look her up. I don't know. I didn't know her.
She plays Wonder Woman.
Oh, sure. I don't know. Who cares? Gal Gadot. Who cares? She texts you though, and she's a celebrity, and you're Labyrinth. You're like up and coming artist. I guess he's pretty established. But still, you get a text that's like, let's spread positivity during Corona. You'd be a real asshole to be like, nah, thanks, I'll pass. So...
Disagree.
No. So I'm going to give him a get out of jail free card and say he was just trying to do the right thing. Because Labyrinth seems like an amazing person, an all-around nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure his intent was good.
This is on Gal Gadot. This is not on Labyrinth. This is on Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot, you're a real idiot.
Right. Yeah, I mean, agree on that.
So, you know what? Those were great superlatives. This was a great episode, Alex. I really thank you for giving your feedback.
You're welcome.
This was a lot of fun. We're just going to keep getting drunk, so let's just cheers to that. This has been a crazy week dealing with coronavirus in New York.
Cheers.
But here we are, episode 2. We're doing great. And all I want to say is we're also going to drop episode 3 on Tuesday at the same time as this one. So please listen to both. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to plug everything on there. We really want you all to be involved. We want to hear your feedback. If there's anything you even want us to talk about, just let us know. This is so fun for us. We're so appreciative of all the support we've already gotten. So on that note, we're going to keep getting drunk. And I just want to remind you all through this coronavirus and this harsh fucking time in the world, instead of walking around and singing Imagine like stupid Gal Gadot, let us all drink, be merry, and let's just keep that euphorism going. Keep your life euphoric, kids. Love y'all. We'll see you in episode 3.